Good evening. Welcome to another edition of the Spitball Media podcast. We're going to spit out some of the top entertainment stories of the week. And my name is John Draper. B-Show and I are going to pause here for a moment because Shaheen has something he'd like to speak to you guys about right away. We appreciate you guys hanging out with us in the vertical and the horizontal. But Shah would like to speak to you guys right now about some very important things going on in the world that you probably already familiar with, that we've touched on a little bit. So we're going to let Shah break the protocol here a little bit because this is very important. All right.
Yeah, and I just wanted to take a couple minutes and show my appreciation and gratitude for everybody that reached out, everybody that's been talking about this. Obviously, if you don't know, Iran is at a civil war right now. Who knows how many are dead? 20,000 has been confirmed. And believe me, when they say 20,000, it means like 60, 70,000. You'll see the final number. Mark my word. It will be closer to 100,000. I know it because of the clips that I'm seeing, because of people that I'm talking to. There's piles and piles of bodies in the middle of every fucking street. The street that I grew up on is drenched in blood. Everywhere I grew up on is drenched in blood. I have cousins that are missing. It's a lot, man. It's a lot. I can't even really put it in words. You know, I've never really I've been through this. I grew up in this, but it's never been as bad as this. And I don't think people realize how crazy this shit is. 20, 30, 40,000 people in 3-4 nights is like Holocaust numbers, dude. That's like literally like Holocaust numbers. And for that to be happening in 2026, and for a lot of people that I know staying silent, I promise you I won't forget, you know, because I've stood up for every cause. I was out there for 2020. I've supported every cause for equality. When it came to our turn, people were out there loving Palestine and Ukraine and everything else. And I'll be lying to you if I said it didn't bother me. It does bother me. It does bother me, you know. Especially because, you know, I don't want to get into a whole Palestine thing, but, you know, Palestine doesn't want really change. They don't want change. You know, and honestly, dude, I've kind of really turned on Palestine, if I'm being honest with you. I've been going at it with Palestinians for last week. Somebody sent me their dick today. That was Palestinian.
Oh.
Yeah, Twitter. I get death threats every day now, bro.
Penis-stillion.
I'm getting death threats left and right. And I love it. Keep it coming. If you're from Pakistan, you want to send me shit, bro. I can't wait. I promise you guys, I will be in Iran one day, and I want all the smoke. I want all the smoke from all these surrounding Arab countries that are talking all this crazy shit. I will be there, and we're gonna take it back in blood, man. Every single one of us that can come back will come back, and we'll take it back in blood. And I won't forget. And I am built for that, man. We're fucking warriors. We've gone through 6,000 years of this shit. We're built for this. If there's one country out there that's meant for this, it's us. And you see it because we're out there fighting bullets with our bare hands and fucking rocks, women, children, and all. But yeah, I just wanted to thank everybody that's reached out to me. I appreciate it. Obviously, I've been I don't agree with a lot of stuff that Israel has done in the past. You know, I've been very critical of Israel, but I'm also very honest. You know, I have to give credit where it's due. I've had more Israelis reach out to me than Americans, than any other people that I don't know, Israelis that I don't know. I don't know them from a can of paint, you know? And I will remember that. You know, because there's a ton of them out there saying, hey, tagging Netanyahu, hey, please go for it. We'll go sit in the shelter for another week. And
I saw that tonight. I saw those videos. Yeah,
that means something to me.
Yeah. Yeah, the young people saying, bring on the rockets. We'll sit in the shelters if it means these people will be free.
Right, because it benefits us all, bro.
Shah, can I ask you a question? Because this is an honest question as I can ask. What could everyday regular people do who completely are on the side but are uneducated, concerned about saying the wrong thing, going to the wrong news source? Can you at least, before you depart here, can you direct people to a proper channel of some kind of real news that they could count on across the globe? Which is, I know it's a lot to ask, but that is the problem, is misinformation.
Yeah. I mean, I definitely wouldn't listen to Al Jazeera. For some reason, they're in bed with like the Islamic Republic now. I don't know. Yeah. I don't know what's going on over there, dude. I don't know what's going on with everyone. I don't know why everybody's obsessed with keeping the same rich. It's fucking weird to me. It's very weird to me. I don't understand it. If you want two good sources, I would say definitely check out 2CTV. He's a Persian, located in the UK. His
How do you
father's in
spell
there.
that? Can you spell that, please?
It's TOUSI TV. And he's got millions of followers. Like, it's a legitimate dude. He's at it with the BBC. Like, he's got beef with the BBC because they're not covering
Yeah,
it. And
you're not getting
he's
it
very
there.
no. Definitely check out 2CTV. He's got like very, very good intel and insights on what's going on. Like, don't listen to CNN. Don't listen to Fox. Don't listen to MSNBC. Like, it's. And I don't want to drag this on. I'm gonna leave in 1 second, but like this really made me open my eyes as far as how misinformed mainstream media can be, because I can't tell you how many of them are calling Khomeini. I'm like, Khomeini died fucking 40 years ago. Like,
Yeah, I was just gonna say, I don't. You guys weren't alive when Khomeini, Ayatollah Khomeini
it's
died.
insane. Like, you can't even get the name of the dictator right, and then they're sitting over there playing clips from 5 days ago saying this is fresh out of Iran. I'm like, I posted this 6 days ago. This is not new. Please do better, mainstream media. And the other person I will say, definitely check out Atheist Republic. That's my favorite guy. His name is Armin. Good Persian dude. He's been doing this for years. The IRGC has put out hits on him, on his whole family. Like, much respect to that guy, man. Go fucking check him out. Show him some love, because that dude is on the front lines of this shit. And I support all of them, man. Those two channels, definitely check them out if you want good news on it. And there's plenty of documentaries if you want to go see how we ended up here. Just type in Revolution 1979 and you'll see. So, but with that said, man, I don't want to take too much of this time, but
Well,
I will be
Shah,
doing an extra. I'll do an extra bonus show. I don't want to guarantee like a day. I don't know if it's going to be tomorrow, Saturday, sometime very soon. I'll do one. I'm very low on sleep, man. I'm kind of going.
No, I understand. And listen, just be, there are so many people, I will tell you, because I come from that, like, that music world, and my feed is dominated with this positively. Like, and I can tell you, I do not know a single person, even in a acquaintance way, that is not completely on board, that is not completely disgusted, and horrified. And I just think we need to step up the way people have stepped up for countless other people, and for things. And I will remind people, you were out there protesting in like 2018. You're out there in 2020. For not for yourself, but for other people and other causes.
For other races, not for me, bro.
For other, not your religion, not for your race of people, but for other people and for other. And I can only imagine how this feels at a time where literally relatives of yours are missing, and no one that you threw support behind is throwing it behind you. But I assure you, regular everyday people, that is not how they feel, right? Like, it's just, I mean, I have seen people that never made a political post in their fucking life, and they are constantly posting that flag, posting for Iran, and they never, ever have done that in their life.
Well, see, what's strange is I look at, I don't know.
Oh, wow.
Oh, there it is.
Oh, my God.
There it is.
Oh, my God, dude.
Nice.
This is what we want back, man. This is our freedom. This is what we want back. This is our fucking flag. Not the bullshit that you see now. Last thing I'll say, that shit that you see now on our fucking flag, that's not even our language. That's Arabic. Imagine if the American flag had like Spanish on it or like Greek. Wouldn't you feel like you're losing your identity to your country? We're not fucking Arabs. Why is Arabic on my fucking flag? You know what I mean? Like, it's just gross, man. I'm over it, dude. I've been called Islamophobic. People are saying I'm Mossad. I'm Israeli. I'm being paid by the government of the U.S. I'm an Israeli-born U.S. person that's pretending to be. I literally posted pictures of my childhood in Iran yesterday on my profile, and there's these fucking morons saying I'm a plant from Israel.
Mossad bots. Those are my favorites.
Yeah,
there's a million people in the street, but it's AI from Mossad, which is just so, I don't even know what to say. It's just, you gotta laugh because you're like, the stupidity is so like, it's beyond. But we saw this kind of coming, and you've been living with this your whole life. I've known you a long time. We're very close. I know this is so personal. Like, that's the one thing I constantly say. and like my brothers are calling me about you. My wife is asking me about you every day. So I just want to tell you something before you hang up. My wife went on the internet and got a bunch of recipes, like classic recipes, Iranian recipes. And tomorrow for Shabbat, which is the holy day of the week, she's making nothing but Iranian food, she told me tonight. Never in her life has she ever, yeah. So because tomorrow is the holy day. So she's lighting Shabbat candles for Iran. And she just dropped this on me like an hour ago. And I was like, and I saw the cookbooks open. This is someone who has never moved in this direction. And now they're consumed with it because of what they see, because of what they heard, because of the women. And let's not forget these women that we were talking about.
Thing. That's the big thing. Yeah.
I feel like we're kind of letting that slide a little bit. Let's not forget these women. That young girl I'm watching who fucking died because she was singing Amy Winehouse in the fucking street. Yeah. Right? Or that other girl who didn't want to sang the traditional song, was like a goth girl. Like I got these kids, these are like my daughter's age, man. These are Edie and Violet's age, man. These are girls singing in the street. This is like I'm devastated by this.
And that's why I say there's a difference between us and Palestine and Iraq and Syria and all these other countries. These other countries don't want Western influence. We had Western influence. We were already modernized.
You want it back. You didn't want it to go. We
didn't want any of this shit. So we're actually welcoming really it back. Iran is begging for people to come and intervene. This isn't like Iraq where they're like, "Oh, don't come to my country." No, people want it. And honestly, I wouldn't want America necessarily to get involved because I don't like when America gets involved with shit. But I feel like America has a duty to make this right because they need to correct the wrong. Because
I do too.
They're largely America has a hand in this. UK.
Yeah,
France.
I was. It's funny. Why is the UK getting the pass? I was thinking about that this
UK
morning.
Was the main one. UK was
like
the main
20,
one.
25 years ago. America and US would have been there in 5 minutes. The coalition of the willing would have been there. Riding on the bomb, like Bush and fucking what's his face would have been there riding on the bombs. It's just such a different vibe.
I can't square about this is every outlet that we listen to, and the three of us listen to a lot of independent news. It's not a lot of big stations.
Oh yeah, we do. Yeah, we go to independent news on purpose.
None of those people are talking about this. And what's interesting is like they'll talk about every cause, even ones that questionable information or like information from Russia Today, which is state-sponsored propaganda, but they won't talk about this shit.
Yeah,
well, and the fact that America.
So you have to remember they just spent 2 years, basically saying that regime in another country is fine, and but so how could they look in the lens and go, well, hold on. One is fundamental Islamist regime is totally fine in the Middle East, but this other one is bad. It's like they shot themselves in the foot, and they have no choice now. Their credibility is shot.
But like, when I see some of these people who are more right leaning, like I'm not hearing even many like libertarian people starting to now, but they're not like Dave Smith. I haven't heard him talking about it.
Not a peep.
Who's the other guy? Kurt Metzger was talking about it on Rogan a little bit. But
really? Oh, okay.
Nothing. I thought it was. He was talking about what's going on in Venezuela and shit. But
not a word at the Golden Globes, which really fucking pissed me off. That fucking pissed. I was like, you cocksuckers. You don't say a word. We don't know what's going to happen. We're hoping for the best outcome possible as a regime change. But more importantly, get the right information. Go to the right sources. Acknowledge this is happening. Stop sending Shah dick pics. It's not going to do anything.
Please, all the Pakistanis, stop reaching out to me. What
is that about?
I appreciate all of you that reached out to me, and I really, really appreciate it. I won't be on the show tonight because, to be honest with you, my mind space is just I can't really talk about movies right now.
How could you talk about this stuff? Well, listen, you see in the chat, everyone, like I was saying, the people are grateful. They're happy for the information. They were happy last week when you and I did that show. I never saw my wife. My wife never listened to the show. Immediately the next morning, she's texting me going, so I'm listening to the podcast because I really want to get the right information. And I'm like, yeah, that's kind of why we did it. We didn't do it for any other reason.
We didn't do it for I was telling John before you jumped on that, like, as a dude from Ohio who was, went to Catholic school, we were taught the Persian Empire rose and fall, but never why. We were taught about the Ayatollahs. We weren't taught the transition and the machinations of power. And the conspiracy books that I've read about, like the assassination of Martin Luther King and Malcolm X and Operation Paperclip and all these real world government shit that happens, I've never really read in depth in any of those about what happened in Iran in the 70s. So,
well, I was alive.
Yeah,
I do remember it being on the cover of all the news and stuff like that. But
By
Shah, oh, I'm sorry, go ahead.
J.A. Pence,
It's
Japens.
Jamie Pennycook.
Oh, okay, that's Jamie Pink. Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Shout out to him. I've been talking to him. He's reached out many times.
Yeah, he's reached
He
out.
actually mentioned the Pierce Morgan piece. So the Iranian woman that that washed out the Young Turks.
Cenk Uygur. Yeah.
Fuck that
fucking
dude.
potato head.
Yeah,
Fuck that dude. Yeah, biggest piece of shit out there.
Big scumbag.
I'm not even going to get into the whole thing with him. But the name that I plugged, Atheist Republic, she's part of that channel. So if you like that clip, that's her stream. She streams 12 hours a day covering Iran. So
oh my God,
you need any news, she's been streaming 12 hours a day every single day since this. She's live all the time. So
all right, well,
go check it out.
Checking that out. And you just keep yourself together. You know, you got your support here. There's a lot of people that from literally all over the place that are on board. They just need to be. They want to go in the right direction. They don't want to, you know. And the world is watching. The world is absolutely watching. So keep us in the loop with your cousins, and free Iran.
Yeah, man, free Iran and Javid Shah.
Javid Shah, right? That's the term. Javid Shah. JAVID SHAH. And what does that mean?
Yep.
See it?
It just means long live the king. Shah just means king. So my name is.
Well, naturally, I knew that. Look who you are. I know who you are. Yeah. All right, be careful, and please be careful. I know you're getting out there again, so please be fucking careful, man. You dodged a lot during those other things that you're at, dude. Those 2020 riots and all that shit. You were like,
shit's getting wild now, man.
You were like,
you don't want to get caught up in some.
Shah was like a CNN embedded reporter in like 2018 to 2020.
Bro,
he was at everything.
I
like he's running through Bosnia.
Yeah, he was like running through Bosnia.
I went Sunday masked up, ready with the shits, bro. Because usually what's been happening is the pro-Palestine people have been fighting with the Iranian people.
Yeah,
they've been
seen it. Yeah.
So I went there because my mom wanted to go there, and I was like, I'm obviously going to go and support my mom, support my country. So I went over there. I was like, I swear to God, if one of you fuckers comes over here with this Hamas shit, bro, I am masked up. I will stomp every single one of you out. No one came, but I'm telling you, man, any event that's coming around this area that's supporting this shit, I will be there, and I'll be waving this fucking flag.
Hell yeah. All right, well, be careful.
Come on.
Yeah, be careful, dude.
Be careful. All right, I'll talk to you soon. All right, well, listen, everybody, get that education. Shah's, that's a free education right there, and that's boots on the ground. Bisho and I cannot relate to this because I can't think, Bisho, if my first blood cousins were missing in an oppressive regime 5,000 miles away. I don't know what I do.
I'd be freaking the fuck out, dude. Like, just think about your brothers, because you got a ton of fucking brothers.
Yeah.
Imagine one of your brothers was missing. Like, Mark, he went to Europe.
Oh, yeah, my brother Mark goes to Europe, went to Europe twice, 2 European tours, yeah.
Did he go to Sarajevo, like, in the 90s?
He was, yeah, they were the first, they played a big music festival in Bosnia after the war in Bosnia. And
imagine he goes there after the war, and then he disappears, and it's like...
Yeah, that dude can't fight. He's little. My brother, like, he's a small guy.
He looks like a scrappy dude.
He's a little dude, though. He's not built for the scrapping. He's built for the yapping. But speaking of yapping, we're going to get to our stuff. Thank you guys for being so supportive. Think of Shaheen. Think of his family. And now we're going to talk about some movie stuff. But before we get into that B-show, that Patreon, we got that Q&A coming at the end of the month. The only way to hear it is for $5. Patreon.com/spitballmedia.
I thought you were going to do backsplash again, but it's okay.
No, I did backslash. I did it.
You did. I'm very proud of you. In the new year, you have gotten rid of that.
I'm growing.
You are. You're growing, not showing. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Anyway,
$5 a month, dude. Yeah, $5 a month.
It is the greatest value in podcasting right now. A lot of people have raised their prices. We've not done that. We've tried to keep it where it's at because we know how shit is on the street.
Paramount Plus just raised me today. Just sent me a notice, and I really like Paramount Plus.
I got my email.
They have every Bond movie. You gotta have it. It's every Bond movie, bro. Gotta have it.
Does it?
Yeah.
Didn't
they just lose the deal? Somebody's getting all 25. You told me about the 25.
It's Amazon, right? Yeah, because Amazon owns Bond now.
I think they sold them. But go to that patreon.com/spitballmedia. Now we want to jump into a couple quick stories, and then we're going to get into a list of the 100 most disturbing movies of all time. But B-Show, who's hanging out with us in the old chat room?
We got good old Coke Hogan.
Coke Hogan.
We got Hey Now, Rich Dow.
The Prince of Pittsburgh. We'll start calling him.
Yeah. Shah jumped in to say thanks to everybody. Much love.
Yes, I see Planet Mondo was just saying goodbye there.
Yeah, we got our buddy Marquise Johns.
Marquise Johns. And I want to give a special shout out to young John, who has been communicating with me privately. He's overcoming some big stuff right now, but he's doing real well. So give a shout out, everybody, to young John JLD.
He was in the chat. He said he's out of rehab and he's in like a halfway or something.
Yeah, he's chilling. Yeah, him and I spoke a few times privately. So I got to give a shout out to my little brother John JLD right there.
Yes, all the best, man. We got Donald Q. Stoney Esquire.
Always good to have a lawyer in the chat room, especially when I'm talking.
Yes. We got our buddy Chris Matthews.
The Chris Matthews.
We got the Cleric of Chaos, and he has a GoFundMe set up because he needs some help. He's going through some physical.
Yeah, can we maybe get that
issues.
into the link in the chat at some point, B, if there's any way? Or Cleric, can you post the link in the chat, please? And of course, I've been resharing it every chance I get.
Yeah, and I'll try to put it in the show feed stuff too, so that goes out.
And we got Jamie Pennycook. He's waiting on my release. I got to send him something funny. He's already got the beeline waiting for my release coming out in Europe. It's going to be there first, so no import for him. It's just it's coming straight from the Netherlands.
Yeah, we had Nomad Artist 9228 stop in.
Oh, what's up, Nomad?
Well, let's see. Yeah, there's John JLD. He says, ain't been here in a minute. Just got out of rehab, and I'm currently in an Oxford house. Happy to be back on Thursday night. We're happy to have you. And
we're happy to have you.
Well,
We'll keep you nice and sane, young man.
Yes.
I see the Punches is there. I see Marquise is there.
Oh, Joe Punches. We said Marquise, yeah.
Oh, we said Marquise.
We'll give him love. We like Marquise.
He's a good friend of mine there. So, whatchamacallit? I want to get this out of the way right away, B-Show. And this will be a continuation in our Patreon episode that you and I are doing. But I had the pleasure of going to see Primate over the weekend, which did very well. Mm-hmm. Very, very well. If you could pull up those box office numbers, overperformed. I think it was maybe a 20 million or a 13 million, and it did 100. I don't know if I got the numbers right, but I enjoyed Primate. It's not everybody's cup of tea, but man, when this monkey starts going bananas, B-Show, oh my God, hard. There's like 3 or 4 scenes in there where you're just like, yo, and they don't hold the fuck back. It's not the greatest plot of all time, but like I assure you, bro, this is a banger, which we will be talking about at the end of the year. I'm saying it now. We will be discussing.
I wanted to go see it this weekend. I did not get out. I'm hearing nothing but good things. It says $24 million was the budget, and it so far is at 15.
No, that can't be right.
Yeah, current figure places Primate at 15.2 worldwide.
Wait, 24 mil was the budget? I thought it did. What am I confusing that? I thought it did way bigger than that.
Now, this is according to IMDb. I'll jump over to Variety, though.
Yeah, let's take a lookie. Let's see. I'm just curious. I thought it did well. I know it had a big opening. It's only for 1 week, but are they counting overseas or just America?
This said worldwide. Yeah, worldwide. Domestic 13.9, international 2 million. Yeah, so 16 million worldwide so far.
I thought it did way better than that. I don't know what the fuck I conflated that with. Oh, I guess really the reviews. But I'll tell you this. It was as advertised. Period. As advertised. And I will say this. I have seen a lot of movies. And there's usually somebody in there that you have empathy for or whatever. For some reason, I just wanted the monkey to kill everyone in the movie, B-Show. I didn't really like anyone in the film. Anyway.
Now, was that because of the lack of redeemable qualities of all the other cast, or was it just because the monkey was cool and?
Well, you feel bad because the monkey, not of its own volition, you know. I thought the monkey didn't look great. I'm not gonna overstate this movie. That's me. But look, we're fucking snobs of the highest order. I thought the kill scenes were intense, man, fucking tense. And oddly enough, even though I'm a huge animal person, I was on board immediately with what this was. I wasn't concerned about the monkey. I didn't feel sad. The monkey's name is Ben, which I think is, for me, I think this is a take on Gentle Ben or the bear or Ben the mouse, the rat from Ben and then the Willard and then Ben the sequel because Ben was the head of that. The acting, not the greatest, oddly enough, they got the deaf actor in there who got the Academy Award for that one movie, and then you never saw him again. Now he's in monkey movies. This is just more of the Academy giving shit to people. The guy from Coda. But I've seen him in another thing, and he was very good. But limited, but that also worked in the sign language thing for the monkey quite nicely. Um, it's very good. I get the hype. And I think if you see it, it's one of those things. I think Don Stoney mentioned this. Somebody mentioned it. It's exactly as that. It's what you expected it to be. It delivered.
Well, I mean, and that's fine. It's a monkey gets rabies or whatever movie and starts killing people. It doesn't have to be anything. And here's the thing. I've hated the term elevated horror for a while because we like those types of movies, hipster horror, whatever.
Yeah, we like
But
it.
at the same time, sometimes it gets to be too much. Sometimes I'll be watching a movie, especially a horror movie, and I'm like, it doesn't have to be about all this. We don't have to go this deep. It can be this, and straight ahead, and terror, and tension. And that's fine. So
yeah, it's fine. Yeah.
It's nice. You know, like, we watched the movie together, right? Together had subtext of, like, a kind of abusive relationships or failure to launch and dragging other people down. But, like, it wasn't super pretentious and pompous.
Right.
It just led you into that story and dovetailed.
It was a part of the story, right? And it was, you know, look, I think if people didn't like this movie, it was because, like I said, plot, not the greatest, acting, not the greatest. There's not a lot of character development here. And when it's over, it's over. There's nowhere to go with it. And I think people also have this expectation that if something is good and they like it, there's got to be another one. And there's got to be another one. Like,
is that when Bubbles shows up and kicks his ass?
There's no way to go with this now. This is a one-shot deal. I actually thought this made way more money, but I think I conflated it with something else.
There was another movie that came out really pretty recently that did $100 million, and I can't remember which one.
I know, that's what I think I conflated. What I was a little surprised. But this weekend, B-Show, 28 years later, The Bone Temple, which now is sitting at about 93 or 96% on Rotten Tomatoes. It's directed by Nia DaCosta, who directed the Candyman reboot. Mm-hmm. Then she did that Marvels movie, which was a piece of shit. And now she's back with this. And apparently, B-Show, this is like, people are fawning over this from early screenings. I expect this to have a very big weekend.
You know, I'm not hearing anything bad from this at all. So I'm on board with you. And maybe, do you credit that because they're kind of changing direction with it? I mean, speaking from the review I heard from the Necromaniacs, which everyone should go check out the Necromaniacs podcast.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And someone mentioned Bone Temple, how it was more of getting into like a sword and sorcery type of thing, like a feudalism, as opposed to just a zombie movie.
Right.
Do you think that's opened it up to a completely new dimension to where it would have been one note, it would have been, you know, going down a very specific hole, and now there's this whole other avenue to explore? Do you think it's fresh and helping that?
Yeah, I do. And I also think it's helped by the fact that, once again, Alex Garland wrote this script, you know, and this guy is a fucking genius. I mean, Shah, he's on our top of the list of writer-directors, and you know, we see everything this guy does. But also, look at the acting. You have Ralph Fiennes. You have that guy, Jack O'Connell, who played the vampire in Sinners, who everybody's jerking off about, the Irish guy, playing the co-star here. And supposedly the script was damn good. And I think people are responding to the fact that they're getting a layered. This is another movie shot on iPhone, I think, or whatever the fuck. You know, it's very, very different. And I do think there is a big fuck you kind of thing at the end of this movie. I'm not going to give it away, but there is a big nod to the original. Take that for what it's worth. The movie just opened. I am going to be seated tomorrow. I am very excited. I'm sure I'll have a nice review for it. And of course, I do think B-Show box office. I think people are going to show up. It's getting great reviews.
Well, I mean, predicated alone on the success of the one that came before it, I think that's a given. And it's funny because we talk about all these movies and we talk about the ones that come out and the ones with hype and the ones that don't do well. There's some great actors, there's some great acting, there's some bad acting. No matter what it is, it's hard to find that formula and figure out what's going to hit and what's going to catch.
Oh, yeah, you can't.
Because like Primate, like we thought Primate looked awesome and that there was going to be an audience for it, and it doesn't seem to be lighting the world on fire just yet. It's doing fine.
Yeah, let's see how it does. And now, unfortunately, it has to compete with Bone Temple, which seems like kind of a rough.
Yeah, that's tough.
I don't know why we have two horror movies like that.
And I think sometimes when we look back on this stuff in hindsight, we just see the art of the craft or the performances, and we forget sometimes it's about timing. And I think Bone Temple, having the success of the previous movie, now the next one's coming out pretty quickly, still got some buzz. it's just really good timing and right place, right time, I guess.
Yeah, I think there's also a very crowded slate for the genre. And they, because we looked at, there's big horror movies coming out this year. Soon.
Yeah.
There's big ones. And you got to pick your battles. But Bisho, speaking of battles, you finally watched a movie that is probably going to have some Academy Award noms coming up in the next couple of weeks. Paul Thomas Anderson, one of my favorites, one of fucking Shah's favorites. One battle after another.
I thought it was fantastic. I'm glad I finally finished it. I get the hype, first of all. I thought Leonardo DiCaprio was fantastic in this movie. I did not expect him to play that role like this, like the old. I didn't think that he was going to be like a drugged out, like burned out loser in a way. Like I figured he'd be like, oh, this guy, fell off the wagon and maybe he's not what he used to be and now he's got to redeem himself. But he's a stumbling, bumbling, like
he's a mess.
Pot
he's a
smoker,
fucking
the whole
disaster.
thing.
He's like absolute.
And it's
disaster.
great. It's great. And some stuff in the beginning of the movie that I was like, wow, that's bold, but why? Pays off at the end, and like there were so many things that made sense and so many layers to it too, because you start out with the story of like the what is it, the 75, the French 75, and then they have to kind of disband, and then you've got the baby, and then you've got this, but then there's all these other layers with like the Christmas Club and shit. Which by the way,
very weird.
I was surprised. Did you notice the guys that played those guys?
I recognize the guy, the assassin. Of course, he's a character actor in a lot of stuff. And I think one of the older gentlemen, but Hell, was it Hell? What did he say instead of Hell?
Hell St. Nicholas or something like that?
Hell Kringle or something like that. Like Hell Kringle.
I thought it was St. Nicholas, but I don't know.
Hell St. Nicholas. Yeah.
Now, what's interesting is the three guys. You mentioned the hitman. I didn't recognize him. But the one guy who leads him to the office is Jim Downey, who is a veteran SNL writer.
Yeah, Jim Downey's a very famous. Yeah, he's that very specific voice. Yeah, I didn't know he was still alive, Jim Downey, actually.
Yeah, he did some stuff after Norm died on, I think, Conan O'Brien's podcast. But I was like, what the fuck is Jim Downey doing in this movie?
Paul Thomas Anderson.
Then they go and they have the little meeting, and the other guy is the bad guy from Ghost, who works at the bank, and he tries to steal the passwords and steal the money and shit.
Oh, wow, that's interesting.
And then the oldest guy, who's a little bit frail, and I kind of felt bad for him. Mm-hmm. It was the bar owner from Roadhouse. Mm-hmm. So I figured you'd be bigger. Yeah, I didn't even recognize him because he's so much older now, but I was like, holy shit.
Wow.
Yeah.
Dude, so that's crazy.
It was nice to see some Roadhouse. Ghost.
I will say, look, there were a lot of people that saw that movie and they were like, okay, this is Antifa propaganda. I didn't get that at all. I actually thought it was the anti of that in every way. I thought it was kind of showing, because if you think about it, remember all those people sold out each other, moved on. Like very few of them stuck around. It showed how fleeting that was. But I do want to ask you, what did you think of Sean Penn? Because a lot of people thought that was a very odd performance, but I thought he was great.
It was, but odd in a great way, because he made that character so idiosyncratic with the way he would like grit his teeth and move his lips and stuff. Mm-hmm. The way he was conflicted because of what he was naturally drawn to. Is Shah in the chat highlighting shit? Holy shit. We have a Phantom in there somewhere. But basically, I thought it was fantastic. I thought it was great.
I'm glad you liked it. Little long.
Yeah, but even the steps, the weird steps, the robotic movements, and like I said, the idiosyncratic facial expressions and the way he played stuff. I think it really added something to that role that didn't need to be there, but made it special and stand out.
Yeah, I thought it was one of the best shot films. I think that and Sinners were the best shot movies I saw all year. I love the score. I love the car scenes. And I'm a big Paul Thomas Anderson guy. I love Benicio del Toro. I thought he was having so much fun in that goddamn movie.
Dude, that one might have been my favorite role because it just seems so different. Like he almost, I hate to say this, but he almost seemed like George Lopez, like the way his delivery was and kind of laid back and is like, hey, come here. And when he tells him to get off the mats because he just bowed to the mats and he doesn't want to walk it on the karate mats. He's like, hey, back up. And fucking Leo's so blown out, he has no idea what he's talking about. And he's like, just get off the mats.
Did you notice this? I know we'll move on. Leo walks around kind of, he's older now, so he's pushing 50, whatever. He walks around kind of chubby, these days. He dropped a lot of weight for that to come across. I think he slimmed down, not in shape, but to play like a skinny stoner guy who doesn't eat and just fucking smokes all day.
I know. One of the weird things, too, thinking of idiosyncrasies, the fact that he kept the duster on, like the long flannel duster, the whole movie.
The robe. They made that robe. People were trying to buy that robe. It doesn't exist. One of my favorite scenes was the scene with when the kids come to pick up his daughter. That was one of the greatest fucking things, where he threatens the kid at the gate. And then,
yeah. Everything you do to her, I'll do to you and every one of your family. Do you understand? All right, have fun.
Yeah, he's
fucking freaks.
Dude, DiCaprio is the man, bro. That dude. He's gonna lose the Oscar. He's gonna get nominated, lose it to Chalamet. It seems like that's what's gonna happen. But I think the movie, like I said, cinematography, directing, script, the overall cast is fucking fantastic.
Yeah.
And I'm a big PTA guy. I'm happy that you finally got to see it. Now, we have a controversial list here we're going to be getting into, people. Someone posted this was going around. It's not our list, okay? Now, we cover a lot of genres here. We cover tons of horror. But, there seems to be like a lot of fascination, B-Show, with people who have channels with the most disturbing. Here's my top 5 most disturbing. Here's the 20 most disturbing films on Netflix. Here's the 5 most disturbing on Hulu. And I have to say, most of the time, for my taste, I don't find most of these disturbing. Like, sometimes they hit and sometimes they don't. But when you post 100 disturbing films, I think it's worth us doing a little deep dive here. Now, we have a bunch of trailers that we're going to save for next week when Shah is back. So I did send you some trailers. And I do want to point out, I just found out earlier, a movie that many people have asked us to cover called Bone Lake hit Netflix today. This was a movie that a lot of people told us that we need to watch. So that is on Netflix now. And I believe Hulu just took on Ugly Stepsister. So Ugly Stepsister has now moved to Hulu. And if you have not,
no kidding.
Yes, moved there today. Or this week it moved to Hulu. It's on there right now. Pretty interesting that it moved there.
Oh, I didn't finish it because I watched One Battle After Another instead. I started Toxic Avenger. I got
how much did you see?
Maybe 5 or 10 minutes, just the first little piece of it.
Okay.
From what I liked, I dig the style. I really do, and I want to see more.
Yeah, Rams fan, I think, was bringing up Bone Lake. What's up, Rams fan? But a lot of people did put this on our radar. So we're going to drop that 100. Well, obviously not going to cover 100 movies, but we're going to peruse the list to see what our thoughts are in the bottom bracket. I have a feeling I have a feeling we're going to have some strong opinions here, and we want your opinions on them. I have not seen the top of the list. I ignored the top 50 on purpose because I wanted to be surprised. I wanted to have a genuine reaction. So whether you're in the vertical or the horizontal chat, share your thoughts with the class. B-Show. Now, this is a little hard to see there. So let's try to...
It's Twitter, so I can't really enlarge it. I tried.
So I'm just going to go... So I want to obviously talk about 100. Maybe we'll do the bottom 10, and then we'll piece out some of the middle there. They have the Blair Witch at number 100. Okay. Well, this is very interesting to me.
All right. I feel like we set it up like it could be promising, and then we blew it in the first 5 seconds.
Well, here's the thing. Blair Witch is a disturbing movie. And for 1999 B-Show, when people were still watching VHS to some regard, this was a very big fucking deal. And where this belongs on the list, I would say maybe in the top 25, but absolutely not 100.
You say in the top 25?
Yeah, I think Blair Witch should be because it was unique for its time. A lot of people thought
Really?
they marketed it like it was real. The people weren't
see,
allowed to have like other work. They had to pretend it was real.
Yeah, I mean, I get that. I didn't think about it from that standpoint. I thought about it from just as it is. But I guess, yeah, if you consider that it's, of its time, not everyone, but most people thought it was a snuff film, then yeah, I guess I could see that.
Yeah, they marketed it that way on purpose. They didn't break kayfabe here, Bisho.
No, but like when I hear disgusting or disturbing films, I think of films that you and Shah have told me, like either you need to watch this or never watch this. Like that's what I think.
You've seen Rosemary's Baby, right?
I'm familiar with Rosemary's Baby, but no, I've not seen the whole thing.
The reason why people consider that disturbing was because the ending for its time period in 1968 with a bunch of very famous people yelling "Hail Satan" as it goes to credits, kind of a big deal for 1968.
For then, yeah, Jesus, it would have been a big deal in 1983.
Yeah.
So
I mean, think about it,
yeah.
dude. Ruth Buzzy and all these people going "Hail Satan" and not Ruth Buzzy, whatever the fuck, Ruth Gordon, whatever. Hail Satan, like chants of "Hail Satan" as they go to credits.
Yeah, I mean, I can see that, man. And I guess maybe it changes the way I look at this list a little bit. Like number 98, Them.
That ending is very disturbing. Very, very disturbing.
What's Them about? I've never seen Them.
Them is, I believe, that is the movie about the young kids who kill. To be fair, I think I'm almost positive. And then the ending is like there's a couple in Australia, or it might be New Zealand. I get them confused. I know that's not cool, but whatever. But I'm a dumb American. And I guess it's got some famous people in it. Like one of the
teacher shares a remote mansion with her novelist partner in Romania. Their weekend is shattered when she wakes to a strange noise, and then the film plays out in real time. The pair are hunted through the home by hooded stalkers.
Yeah, and their children.
Okay.
Their children, and it's pretty disturbing. I like that Wicker Man is on this list. The original one, 94, should be maybe in the top 20, 25. That ending of Wicker Man is so bleak and so upsetting. It's legendary.
I can buy that one. I mean, dude being fucking burned alive in a giant wicker.
Screaming in front of hundreds of people with glee, the glee in the faces of the children and the people that you thought trusted you.
Now, here's a weird one. I did not expect this one because I didn't think this one was so disturbing. Annihilation.
The bear thing fucked people up. The bear whose insides are on the outside. Oh my, dude, the noise the bear makes.
Well, yeah, it's guttural and it's vicious, but if you're putting it on the 100 most disturbing movies of all time, I loved it. I finally watched it a couple weeks ago. I loved it.
It's fucking
It's awesome.
I saw it in theaters.
But as far as most disturbing movies, I don't know about that.
Yeah, and Mother, Mother is a creepy, weird movie. I don't know how I feel about that. Repulsion, Roman Polanski, that's a big deal. Peeping Tom, I've never seen. I'm curious about that. Under the Skin, Jonathan Glazer. Shah got me watching that motherfucker. That's the Alien movie where Scarlett Johansson's just trapping men, almost like a Venus flytrap, and pulling her own skin off. I don't have a problem with that being on the list. You see, they got Cronenberg's The Brood in there.
And The Fly.
And The Fly, which the original Fly or the Cronenberg Fly?
Cronenberg Fly. And that one I kind of get because for its time, like the first time when I saw that in the 90s, and I saw him, like, first of all, him turning and deteriorating, but then at the end when, like, he's throwing up on the dude's leg and...
Oh, yeah, it's gross, dude. I mean, and what was that, 87? What is that, The Fly?
86? Yeah.
86? Gross.
Or like when the orangutan mutates with the cat and it's screaming out to be killed. Yeah, it's terrible.
God. Inland Empire is on there. David Lynch. That's interesting.
I've never seen it, but I didn't think that one was.
I've seen it. I don't know what the deal was with that.
Do you think it's worse than Lost Highway? Because Lost Highway is 96.
Lost Highway's got some fucked up shit in Lost Highway.
That's what I'm saying. I'm surprised.
You know, Lost Highway's on there, right? That one scene.
I haven't seen Lost Highway, but I know the Roman Polanski or whatever.
There's the one scene with the actor who ended up killing his wife. Where he's clearly Satan, but you don't call him Satan, and You know, he's the evil presence of the movie. That is a fucked up scene. I see Once Were Warriors. I'm a very big fan of that movie. That's 1994. That was a very big imported movie that was very popular about New Zealand culture, and you know how abusive it is towards women in that regard. And there's there's some disturbing scenes of women getting battered by these gang members. Very brutal. And by the way, the star of that movie, the male star, is Tamara Morrison, Bisho, who you know as Boba Fett.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah, that's his breakout movie. He's the leader of this Maori gang. I don't know if that's Maori, or is that Aborigine in New Zealand? I'm a dumb American.
You're asking the wrong dude.
Well, I'll get G-checked by somebody. By the way, that is a brilliant film if you've never seen it. That is an absolutely brilliant film. And there is some disturbing things to it. Like there's, I don't want to talk too much about it, but there is a great scene in there of a teenager and a lot of violence. A lot. It is not a very flattering portrait of this culture, but it was very unflinching. I'm a very big fan of that movie. I've seen it many times. So that brings us to, that's around what? Like we're at the 70s there?
76.
76. All right, let's try to go up to the 76 to 50. Someone is asking about Spider by David Cronenberg. I am not familiar with that movie. Possum, yeah, Possum. I've heard my brother Mike is trying to get me to watch Possum. All right, so let's go from, we got the No Child of Mine. I'm familiar with No Child of Mine. Johnny Got His Gun, which is the video for One by Metallica, B-Show.
Oh, wow. Okay.
That's the guy who loses his sight and his hearing and has no arms and no legs from War. Yeah. Is that Bully, the Larry Clark movie? Number 72?
What number?
Oh, I like Larry Clark movies because they're so unflinching. I saw that in movie theaters. It was an indie movie. The star of it is dead. He was an actor. He died of drug abuse. He was in his 20s. Not Steven Dorff. What the fuck? If you pull up, dude, Bully is great, bro. You would
Brad Renfro.
Brad Renfro. He was one of the stars of Bully. Yo, Bully is dope. Unflinching movie. I highly, highly, highly recommend. It's based on a true story, which they then remade called Alpha Dog, another version of that same story about kids in Florida who kill somebody. And they've made two. Oh, Mr. Isaacs. Haven't seen him in a while.
What's up, man?
Yeah. Oh, he's talking about Kids. We haven't gotten to Kids yet. Larry Clark also directed Kids. But B-Show, this movie Bully, I highly, highly recommend. Kids and Bad Lieutenant. Wow, they got a... Holy shit, I've seen all these movies. Kids and Bad Lieutenant. I saw Bully and Kids in movie theaters. I didn't see Bad Lieutenant. Bad Lieutenant is an Abel Ferrara movie. I'm a fan of Abel Ferrara. He directed King of New York. He's kind of persona non grata because he's a really sleazy fucking guy. B-Show, I think he did a horror movie like a New York Ripper or something like that. He did one of those kind of movies.
Wait, what's his name?
Abel Ferrara.
I feel like we've talked about him before.
Oh yeah, I'm a big fan. My brother Mike and I are very big fans. He's a good lunatic. He is a Looney Tunes motherfucker.
Yeah, I can't find any weird horror movies that he did.
Dear Zachary, that is a documentary about a kid I think that got killed by his parents or his mother or something like that, or his father. I something to that effect. Or I know I'm familiar with that. The War Zone with
Body
Tim Roth.
Snatchers.
Where's Body Snatchers? What is that?
No. I was looking at.
No, go back. He did a movie like in the '80s, like a slasher movie, like a horror movie, like called The Driller Killer or some shit. I don't know. He did something like that.
Oh, he did Driller Killer? I don't see it on his list.
No, it's on his list. One of these types of movies. It was definitely an obvious horror movie in the '80s, early '80s.
Okay, I didn't see it on his filmography.
Oh, David Cronenberg's... Dude, Cronenberg's got movies. Every Cronenberg movie's on here. He's got Dead Ringers and Crash on here, B-Show.
Well, it doesn't surprise me. It's Cronenberg. Like, he's a meme. You know what I mean? He has a very distinct, very visceral style that doesn't fuck around a little. And these movies on the list,
yeah, he did
I
Driller
understand
Killer.
These ones.
Mm-hmm.
He did?
Yeah. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, Jamie Pennycook said, yeah, he did Driller Killer.
Wow, because it didn't come up on his filmography.
Well, he probably doesn't want it on his filmography, frankly. B-Show, I have seen so many. I've seen the Cronenberg Crash I saw in theaters. I see Santa Sangre is in here, the Jodorowsky movie. Shah would have that on here. I'm trying to see other movies I've seen in theaters here. I've seen quite a few of these in theaters.
Have you seen Elephant 64?
Yeah, I saw the Gus Van Sant movie, loosely based on Columbine, at the Angelica. I've seen all of them. Dude, this was like my heyday.
I haven't seen all these. I've heard of a lot of them. I'm on board with this part of the list. That's what I'm saying is like, I understand taking into consideration the weight of the time the Blair Witch came out.
Yeah.
But I don't think that belongs on this list. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, by the way, B-Show, a lot of 90s movies on here, man. A lot.
It was an odd time, dude. Very raw.
Beyond the Black Rainbow, B-Show, number 57.
For some reason, I don't remember that being so disturbing. It's very strange to watch. And there's some weird subject matter. But I didn't think it was all that disturbing. Not on the level of like a Cronenberg.
Yeah, Visitor Q, Takashi Miike, I've seen it. Definitely belongs on this list. 1,000%. Right next to Tetsu, the Iron Man, belongs higher on this list. So does Visitor Q. And Bone Tomahawk, my God, is that but Bone Tomahawk, everyone's basing it on the one scene where they skin the guy from the bottom, from upside down. But B-Show, that alone, I think, should put it on a list like this.
I think so. But then is Terrifier going to be on here?
I'm sure
because of the sawing scene.
I'm sure it's going to be on here, and it belongs on here. So I'm seeing a lot of meat here in the '90s. I'm seeing a lot of movies that I saw. Trouble Every Day, Vincent Gallo's in that movie. That's a fucked up movie. The Devils, Ken Russell. Shah's brought that up quite a bit.
For its time, if we're going to grade it on a curve, I could say absolutely.
Yeah,
probably freaked a lot of people out
because of the subject matter for its time period. So I do think they are kind of beefing up here. Let's go from the 50s to the 30s. This is where it's going to get very interesting, I think. Ichi the Killer, number 50. Holy shit. Okay, could have been in the top 20. I Saw the Devil. Absolutely could have been in the top 20. I'm looking at a glass. Titanic, the car fucker movie. And right next to her other movie, Raw. I would put the cannibal movie above the car fucker movie, B-Show.
Now, are we painting the car fucker movie too negatively? Was it more than just that? Was it like...
That's more style over substance.
That's what I'm saying. Is like everyone says that, but I haven't seen it to verify.
Well, I thought you saw the car fucker.
No.
Did you see Raw, the cannibal movie?
No, I didn't. No,
yeah,
no.
I would tell you if you're going to watch either one, to watch Raw because it's a better movie. I think it's a better movie. It's
well,
about
here's a question.
Who goes to veterinary school or whatever and just starts eating shit. She just starts eating shit. Like, I don't know if it's veterinary school, but she just starts eating shit. It really like that. Like, it's crazy. What were you going to say?
I was going to say, what country or what area do you think has the most disturbing movies, hands down?
For the 21st century, France.
France. I was going to say, you talk about the French New Wave a lot, but I also see a lot of like Asian movies coming up on here now, too.
And then the Asian shock cinema for sure. Obviously, Japan, Korea. But I would say if I had to pick one for this time period, I'm going that French Wave because they're banger after banger after banger after banger. They just know. I don't know. They just got it like that, bro. But I'm seeing some shit here. Give me one moment. I just saw it.
This is strange. Eyes Without a Face, made number 40. It's creepy, but I don't know if I'd call it that disturbing.
I agree. I don't think it was disturbing. It's creepy. The House That Jack Built, I think that should be higher on the list, possibly top 20. Shah and I are obsessed with that movie. The whole Dante's Inferno ending is so... Matt Dillon, you just can't believe Matt Dillon's in this movie. You just can't believe Matt Dillon is in this movie. Necromantic, I think that's fine. That is a movie about fucking dead bodies. I've seen that. The Vanishing. I think I'm gonna throw this on the... this is not a great thing to say. I think Vanishing's a little overrated. I know... Dude, you look that up, you think it's like fucking Citizen Kane with people. But I see My Old Boy is sitting comfortably, B-Show, at number 37.
Which, for that to be beat out by Blue Velvet, that makes me a little bit angry, because there's some disturbing shit in Blue Velvet, but, like, to me, I think Old Boy's a little more raunchy than that.
Yeah, Shah was saying In a Glass Cage is brutal. I've never seen it, and I've never seen Angel. I really want to see Angel quite a bit. And I've heard of Man Behind the Sun. And now we're getting into some interesting stuff here. Jacob's Ladder, Jacob's Ladder, I don't know, that disturbs people. I think the ending makes people uncomfortable. But I don't think it even belongs on this list. I think it's just a very solid horror movie. Shah's getting pissed. He missed this list. Oh, my God.
I know.
He's getting pissed. And then, of course, we have Dogtooth, the Yorgos Lanthimos movie. 100%. I think it's good where it is. It could probably go a little higher. Blue Velvet Show. I think that's a fair look. Frank Booth is so awful in Blue Velvet.
Yeah, and there's the scene where she's, being abused, and then she finds him in the closet, so then she kind of starts abusing him, and I get it. It is an odd movie with some disturbing parts to it, but I don't know. It's weird. I don't know if I'd put it this high on the list, given the ones that came before it, like the ones you've talked about.
Yeah,
I don't
there's
know
a
if
lot
I'd
of
rank it that
bangers
high.
before it. By the way, Rams fan, yes, you are correct. Angel is the high school prostitution movie, which I've seen many times, including the sequel, Avenging Angel. I had one of those posters on my bedroom wall in 1985 because sometimes video stores would just throw out the real posters, or they would just say if you want them, you take them, and it was usually nothing that great. Shah's ready for the top 30. He's like, fuck this shit.
Well, I saw a couple of the names that I think are worth mentioning, man. Men Behind the Sun is...
Yeah, what is that? I didn't see that.
So it basically focuses on the Chinese torture methods.
I did see Men Behind the Sun.
So it's 3 movies. I have all 3 of them, and I will never watch them again. There's a scene where they basically freeze this woman's hands, and they shatter her hands. They shatter her hands.
Yeah, I've seen the scene. They put her in like whatever they call that.
It's like dry ice or
liquid nitrogen or something.
Liquid nitrogen. Yeah, they put it, and then they shatter them. Yeah, that scene goes around.
Yeah, and there's 3 of them, and there's a ton of animal cruelty in there. In a Glass Cage is a crazy movie.
What is that?
So it's about a Nazi that's like in his 90s, and basically his caregiver is one of the Jewish kids that he tortured and abused when he was a full-blown Nazi.
Wow.
So the kid is now his caregiver, and he does everything back to him.
Jesus Christ.
I think either you've told us about this or I've read about this movie before, because that sounds really familiar.
So Shah, here's where things get very interesting. You see Dogtooth there sitting at number 32. And then have either of you seen Snowtown? Because it's based on a true story and it is awesome.
No, I haven't seen Snowtown, Benny's Video, or The Vanishing, or Seconds. Those are the 4.
You've heard of The Vanishing, I'm sure. But
I've seen everything else.
Snowtown's based on a true story. Fucking brutal. Brutal. But Shah, look at what we're getting here.
Well, hang on. What's it about, though, bro?
Snowtown's about, it's like almost like it's about a guy who, I call him like a gangster, in like a rural, I want to say in the UK town there, who starts like killing like other people in the town, like for like, drug reasons. And he just starts putting their bodies in containers and storing them. And he kind of co-ops a young person. I think he might've been dating the mom. He co-ops a young man to help him. And like, and they have a falling. He actually kills the kid's stepbrother. The stepbrother rapes the kid in it. It's fucking crazy, yo.
Jesus Christ.
It's brutal. But Shah, look at this. The Killing of a Sacred Deer, number 29.
Yeah, I think that's a little high. I mean, Men Behind the Sun, movies like that are way worse.
Shah, what do you think of Happiness at 28?
I think that should be way higher. I would put Happiness probably in my top 15.
10? Yeah, 15
top
maybe.
10, maybe.
Okay, and you see Gummo is number 27.
Yeah, I would put that higher as well, I think. I think the piano teachers, Michael Haneke, he's the one that did Funny Games.
Oh, okay, the original Funny Games, not the remake.
Yep.
Right?
Well, he did both of them. He did both. Remember, it's the same director.
Oh, that's right. It's just an American version with Naomi Watts and okay. Michael Pitt, I believe, plays the killer in that. I forgot he did this. That's right, and that's right. I've seen them both. I don't hate the American version. Are they referring to the original there? I assume.
I
Or
would
they're not
assume
really
so. That's
clarifying. I
typically,
assume it
yeah,
would
that's
have to be
typically
that.
Wait,
that.
which movie?
Funny Games. It's a great movie. It's basically a family is in their home with their
Oh,
children, and two people come in and just basically tie them up and say, "We're going to kill you," and they just torment
Jesus.
them until they kill them, including the children. And that's literally the whole movie. Like, there's no right shot. There's no other pretense behind it at all.
No, they're just doing it for fun. They're just doing
Just
it
for
for fun. I
fun.
think
It's
it's
two young guys. They
German
show up.
too.
Yeah, the original. It's German. The original.
I think it's German.
And Shah, what's the piano teacher? I feel like I should know that.
I've never seen it, but I own it. I own most of these. I want to say I own probably 70 out of the 100 on here, shamefully.
Jesus Christ.
So the piano teacher, I believe it's about literally a piano teacher that starts seducing the kid that she's teaching piano.
Yeah, I think you're right about that. Okay, that's
Yeah, it's kind of along the
2001.
lines of like Happiness type of vibe.
Okay. Well, Happiness definitely belongs in the top 30 or 40 of this list. And now we have the 25. All right. I know I'm not gonna probably agree with this, but let's see where we're at. All right.
Oh shit.
Oh my God, we need to talk about Kevin. Holy shit. Absolutely 1000%. I cannot stress to you enough how awful this movie is in terms of the subject matter. There's very famous people in this movie. Very famous people in this movie. And it is so fucking disturbing. I think it maybe could be in the top 20. Shah, you've heard of this, right?
Yeah, I own it. Never seen it.
Oh my God. Bisho, have you ever heard of this movie?
No. We need to talk about Kevin?
Yeah.
I heard of it, never seen it.
I highly, highly impress upon you both. You will not forget that. You will want to talk about it as soon as you start to see it. Midsummer 24. I don't have a problem with that, Shah.
You know what? Before we move on, I always mix up Daniel Isn't Real and We Need to Talk About Kevin. I always mix those two up.
Yeah, no, Daniel Isn't Real is about an imaginary friend, right?
I haven't seen either one. I just remember both.
No, we need to talk about Kevin. I am telling you, you will not forget this movie.
Yeah, Midsommar. I mean, dude, I wouldn't even put that in my top 50 to be honest with you. I mean, that's. I feel like I would reverse a lot of these
and
movies.
the ending, and I can
But
understand that.
Dude, if you ever see Men Behind the Sun in a glass cage, Happiness, the piano teacher, like I mean, looking at Hereditary and Midsommar, I mean, those aren't even near.
Well, Shah, you've been telling me about that Nightingale for like 5 years.
Yeah, again, I wouldn't even put that in my top 50 probably. It's a rough movie. I wouldn't put it in a top.
What is the premise
movie,
of the Nightingale?
It's like I believe a woman. I haven't seen it for years, but basically this girl, she teams up with this black dude, and they go on a journey to basically fight all the racists and all the abusers, and it's just pretty violent and pretty rough.
In the Civil War, based in the Civil War.
I don't remember, man. I haven't seen it for.
All right, I'm gonna try to check that out. Now, Shah, Hereditary's in the top 22. Hereditary is a disturbing film. I mean, it is for a lot of people. It's a mainstream disturbing film.
Yeah, I just wouldn't put it in my top 50, bro. Especially because like this list is naming some like legitimate disturbing movies. So it's like, dude, you guys, whoever made this, you're aware of these films. I mean, putting Hereditary above Happiness is that's crazy.
Bisho, would you put Hereditary in a disturbing top 25 list?
Yes, but like Shah, there was movies from the other, the previous two panels that I've heard you guys describe or I've even seen that probably would beat it out. I mean, yes, there are disturbing moments of Hereditary, but top, 20, 22? I don't think I'd place it that high.
Now, Bisho, if I'm not mistaken, I think Threads is a nuclear war movie, right? Right, Shah?
Yeah, so it's kind of like it's like a fake documentary.
It's a shockumentary,
Yeah, it's a mockumentary / shockumentary.
It's supposed to be very good. You've seen it, right?
Yeah, it's fucking brutal. I believe it's from the UK, and I'm pretty sure
it might have been a TV movie in the UK.
It
was
was.
To be like
I'm
an
pretty sure
an anti-nuclear war, like what it would really be like.
Yeah, I have that
British
one too, man.
Apocalyptic television film produced by the BBC.
Yeah, Mick Jackson. That's crazy. High Tension. Look, that was a big deal for people when it came out. It was like the plot twist, part of the French Wave show right there. That falls in the French Wave too.
Okay.
And then, of course, top 20. Here we go, the 20. Requiem for a Dream. I'm totally okay with this, Shah.
top. I don't know, man. I would probably put that on my top 50. Because again, I've done a top 50 disturbing movies, so I can tell you which ones I have on mine and which ones I don't.
I would maybe have it in my top 30. Bisho, you've seen Requiem for a Dream?
No, sir.
Oh, it's so good. And then Shah, one of your favorites, Possession. Yeah, it's a disturbing movie. It's a fucked up movie, Possession.
Hell yeah, love that movie, man.
It's a fucked up movie. Bisho, have you seen it? I thought you saw it in the last year or two.
No.
Okay. The original Last House on the Left. Yeah, for 1972, graphic rape scenes and like torture scenes in the woods. That was not exactly a common thread, I think, in films that went to theaters. Show in 72.
No, and that's actually let's see. Last House was 72. Yeah, Chainsaw was 74. It walked so that Chainsaw and other movies that were more modern could run. In fact, it was a movie that basically came out in response to the Vietnam War.
Jesus Christ.
It was Wes Craven had seen like the newsreel footage coming, and it was so horrific. He was like, all right, we need to bring this to horror because we need horror to be modern. We need it to match that. So, probably cracked the door open for most modern horror.
My brother Mike is
70s.
a big fan. That's one of his all-time favorites. Shah, you a fan of Last House?
Definitely not a fan at all. I don't like these, like, I don't know, man, revenge movies / grape movies. Once again, fruit.
I know. I said that earlier.
I'm not into these type of movies. I like, historically speaking, yes, it's had a huge impact on that disturbing subgenre.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, it influenced a lot of other movies, but these aren't my type of movies. Like, I love disturbing movies that actually make me feel uncomfortable, not just like gross because like some woman's getting touched. Like, it's not entertaining to me.
Well, Inside, I would 100%. Again, French Wave, 2007. I'm a big fan of Inside. It's a fucked up. I think the premise alone, Shah, is why that's on that list. I mean, it's a fucked up premise.
Yeah, I would definitely put it in my top 50. Wouldn't make my top 20 though. But
here's a movie I think I might be the only one who's seen, Man Bites Dog, which is a mockumentary, almost in a comedy way. It's a first-person documentary about a serial killer. Shah, I think you have seen it.
Yeah, I own it. Criterion put it out, and it's I don't know, man. I mean, I respect the movie because it's very original for its time because there was really nothing like it. Yeah. But I mean, if you watch it for the first time in 2026, it's not going to disturb you.
Yeah, Bisho, it's one of those movies like for the early 90s, there was nothing like it. We didn't have serial killers was still extremely like, on the forefront of like American culture of being existing. And here's a documentary about a guy who in a serial killer, I think in Holland or Denmark or whatever, or Sweden, and he just follows him around. And the guy is so casual, like he scares an old lady, gives her a heart attack to save the bullet. Like but it's like, it's actually very good. It's a very, very influential movie for its time period.
Well, that goes to some of the early ones we talked about where it's almost like you kind of had to be there, which I almost in a way don't like including movies like that on lists like this because you have these movies that in any era are disturbing or you don't want to watch it or they're uncomfortable. But then you have the ones where you're like, oh, well, you had to be there. It's like, well, if I had to be there, maybe that should be a different list. Maybe that should be like historical disturbing films.
Yeah, and like Shah and I have had this conversation about Audition, which is number 14. Audition, I think, does get a lot of fake hype for the shock value, but I do stand behind Shah when it gets going. Like the second act of that movie is brutal.
Yeah, but I mean, it's only like the last 15 minutes, really. It should definitely be on the top 50. I'm not saying it shouldn't.
Yeah, they have it at 14.
Yeah, I wouldn't make my top 20 though.
Now, Shah, what is Lost Souls? I know that I feel like I should know that, and I don't know it. B, do you know? I don't know it at all.
No.
Yeah, I don't know that one.
Okay, if we could maybe pull that up, because then you have Human Centipede again, maybe overhyped, but for its first sequence. Hold on a second. That's not the original shot. That's the last one, the one in the prison.
No, I'm thinking first sequence. They mean the original.
I don't know. Okay, maybe. I assume it's the first one.
Yeah, I think it's the first one.
I assume this would be on the list.
Because the third one, the one in prison, is kind of almost like a comedy. It's so like.
I like the second one a lot. I think the second one is brutal.
Yeah, the second one is rough, dude.
Yeah. Bisho, did you find Lost Souls?
Yes, it's let's see. Determined to escape from the harsh regime of China to the freedom of Hong Kong, three
Oh
youths are
wow.
captured by Mr. Hoke, a sadistic human smuggler who subjects them to an unrelenting assault of degradation.
Oh, Shah, how has this not been on anybody's radar?
Yeah, I'm surprised I haven't. I don't even recall hearing of that movie.
I mean, neither. But
Yeah.
Eraserhead is number 11. I'm good with that shot. I mean, it's high art, but for its time period, no, it was either a thing people either embraced or thought was absolute garbage.
Yeah, I'd probably put it top 30. Definitely belongs on the list though.
Really, and Bisho, you've seen Eraserhead, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I'm with Shaw. I would probably place it farther down on the list. I wouldn't make it. This is where the lists almost like they start to cram in either people that they think they should put, or nothing against Taste of Cinema. It's a decent list, but like,
Yeah, I know.
I don't know. I don't know if I get Eraserhead. I don't know.
Well, I get Henry Portrait of a Serial Killer because I saw that in a movie theater, and wow, that again, this was like 89 or 90, but shot Henry is a beast, bro. That movie is nasty.
See, you're gonna be disappointed in my answer because I think that movie is extremely tame. Like I really don't think that movie's that bad. Like top 10, I don't know, man. Top 10 should really just be like extreme movies. You know what I mean? I don't view that as an extreme film. It just
Yeah, well, for its time period, I think we'll take it into context because we do have Pink Flamingos at 9, which I absolutely think belongs on this
yeah,
list.
like that I understand because that's yeah, I agree.
Yeah. And Come and See, that is the is
It's the
Come and
war
See
movie.
the war
It's the
movie.
war movie.
I've heard about that. Be sure, have you ever heard about this? This is supposed to be very, very disturbing.
No.
Yeah, very disturbing.
So I've seen this 3 times, and I'll tell you, it's probably the roughest war movie you will ever see. Absolutely belongs on this list. And
Yeah,
it's in
but
the
people have told me in advance that like, yo, I know you're down with a lot of crazy shit, but they said this the realism of the
yeah,
brutality is hard, right? Like it feels too real.
yeah, and the little kid that's an actor, and there's a scene, man, where they put a gun to his head, and it's just you'll get goosebumps. I mean, if you just type in the name of the movie, that's the first image that
I
you're gonna see.
I see the clip right here.
Yeah.
I know that clip. It's a famous clip. Yeah, I don't know if I'll be involving myself in this one, but of course, Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Absolutely, B show. I think it has to be in the top 10.
It is very visceral. And if we're grading on a curve like the other movies, I have no problem with it being high on the list. But number 7, I don't know. I don't know.
I know Shah doesn't think it's probably number 7 either.
Yeah, I honestly, again, cheap plug, but I've done a top 50 on my channel.
Yeah, people should compare.
Definitely did not make it on my even top 50.
Well,
man.
Shah,
There's just so many more fucked up movies.
here's one I think should be in your top 10. If it isn't, Lars von Trier's Antichrist.
Love that movie. Absolutely should be on this list. I'd put it in my probably top 20.
Yeah, B-Show. This is Willem Dafoe is the star. It's about a family that loses a child, and that's the backdrop for a journey that you are not prepared to go on. That's all I'm gonna say. Like it's got talking wolves and going chaos reigns. It's dude. I know a guy. I don't have his. Well, I'm just gonna say it. Mike Hill from the Necromaniacs podcast is the singer of a very successful band called Tombs, a very heavy doom metal band. And when he saw this, he literally took a lyric from a song on one of his albums and opened it with Chaos Reigns shot. That's how moved he was by that fucking scene with the talking wolves.
Yeah, that movie, man. I mean, it starts out batshit crazy, right? With the opening scene and how they lost a child. And the stuff with the deer and all the like, there's some rough stuff in there, dude. It's not a movie I'd like to go back to, but
yeah, it's a fucked up movie. Now here's where it gets strange. This is the other funny games. I don't quite understand this on the list. I assume this is the original.
97 has.
Oh, Mario Rojas, Tombs. Yeah, well, that's a shout out to Mike Hill from Tombs. A big fan. Known them forever.
Yeah. 97 has to be the original.
Yeah.
So 97 is an idyllic lakeside vacation home is terrorized by Paul and Peter, a pair of deeply disturbed young men.
Yeah, and then they had further on the list the American version, but I thought they were pretty identical to one another. But I don't quite understand this. Shah, here's one that belongs exactly where it is. Irreversible is number 4.
Yeah, I agree. Definitely in my top 10. If you want to talk about, I Spit on Your Grave, Last House on the Left, those type of revenge movies, nothing compares to this one. There's like a 5-minute scene that's, I'm sure you can imagine what happens. Very, very rough.
Yeah.
High art too, man. I mean, this movie is shot in reverse,
it's shot in reverse, and there is a version of it shot the other way. I've seen them both. B-Show, this is the only movie in the history of the Cannes Film Festival where someone threw up.
You guys have talked about this movie before, Monica Bellucci, and some of the nasty shit that happens to her in this movie.
Yeah.
The sad thing about this list is there's quite a few that I'm intrigued by, but I don't think I'm ever going to go back and watch.
Yeah, well, I would if I could make you watch one, I would say Possession, because it's it's a fantastically shot movie, great acting, and the performance from the lead actress. You're gonna be like profoundly taken by how good she was. Like Shah. That's really the selling point of Possession is her performance, I think.
Yeah, especially for its time, man. I mean,
oh my God. Yeah, it's like Academy Award performance. Like you're like, how honest, I'm not even being hyperbolic. I think if they made that movie today in the same environment, it would get an Academy Award.
I agree. And it's such a unique movie because obviously there's color coordination and stuff like that in other films, but it's so strong in this one. It really sets the tone. Like everything is damn near blue and red. Really play a theme in this movie.
Yeah, and there's a reason for it too. And of course, now we go to Martyrs, the original of the French Wave B-Show, a movie so disturbing. It's my number 2 horror film, or possibly number 1, flip-flop, and I'm never watching it again.
See, what's funny about that is maybe if I watched it a second time, I'd feel that way. I feel like I could watch Martyrs again.
Really?
I
don't
know why.
with the subject, with the religious aspect. I'm so uncomfortable. It makes
me so I think maybe that's why it doesn't weird me out as much, is because there's other movies on this list where, like, you talked about how the kid dies. I read a synopsis. Like, there's certain shit that I don't like to put myself through. I don't like to watch or experience. But Martyrs, I was fascinated by the religious angle, being a kid who went to Catholic school.
Yeah, ending, that when they realized that.
Yeah.
I don't want to give that farm away. I'm talking about, B-Show, like that very last scene with the captor, and she just gives up, like, because she was hoping that this woman would see the eyes of God if they just tortured her to the point where the last breath of her life, you could see the light in her eyes that there's a God, and it doesn't happen, and you're like, oh my God, man! Like, I'm even saying it out loud. I'm like, get the fuck out of here.
Well, see, maybe I took that differently. I took it as. And like I've read a lot on Reddit about this. It's very contested. People say, on one side that's what happened, but people on the other side say that's why she killed herself, so she can go there because she knows it's true.
I don't know about
that. But then again, I guess if they're Catholic, suicides don't go to heaven.
Shah, did you get? I don't want to. I mean, we could do 4 hours on that movie, but at the end of Martyrs, did you get the impression that they justified the existence of God, or that they proved that there was none?
I think whatever was on the other side was worth going out quicker.
Torture? Oof. Yeah. That's what B-Show is saying too, I think.
Yeah.
All right. I mean, I might have to watch it again and just kind of pace myself. A Serbian film. Listen, another highly contestable film. There's several versions of this movie. I, to this day, have never seen the fully unrated European version of this movie, but I know what I'm missing from my version of this movie. But Shah, again, is this another thing where it's just so inflated that it's just almost lost all of its sort of shock value?
Yeah, honestly, I mean, I expect it to be top 10 or honestly top 5 on anybody's list. I'm pretty okay with the top 5 that they have. For the most part, I disagree with this list. Like, I think it's kind of all over the place, with some of the really disturbing stuff being like in the 40s, and then number 7's like Texas Chainsaw, where it's like, dude, Happiness. Like, I don't know, man. It's weird.
Yeah, and of course, Salo, a big date movie for Shah B-Show that he likes to show on the first date. Yeah, I think this top 3. I'm not gonna lie, guys. I feel like this top 4 in particular is pretty spot on.
Well, I would change one. I think they missed. Well, they missed two. Well, three movies
Well,
that
some
I would.
people in the chat brought up Maniac and Cannibal Holocaust.
Yeah, I mean, Cannibal Holocaust not being on this just is
it's wrong.
Batshit crazy. That's got to be in top 5 for
I would
sure.
say top 10, maybe 5.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Maniac, I think, guys, be sure. I think Maniac should be in the top maybe 30 for sure.
Yeah, I was gonna say top 25, top 30, somewhere in there.
Yeah.
I think Ebola syndrome. You've seen Ebola syndrome.
Yeah, I've seen that. And you know what I was thinking too, kind of belongs on here? The Sadness, Shah. That movie was fucking gross as shit.
Yeah, I could see that.
And Brian Yuzna's Society, if you've never seen it. By the way, guys, no Terrifier.
Yeah.
None,
you know what's crazy? My number one most disturbing movie. This is the one movie where I can never rewatch this movie, right? Like even Salo, I can go back and watch it. I appreciated Salo.
A bunch.
It didn't bother me as much as I thought it would, you know?
Yeah.
Just because you can tell it's completely acting, like there's kids in the background laughing, like it's not a lighthearted movie, don't get me wrong. It's fucked up, but it shows real fascism, what happened in Italy. Yeah. So it's beautifully shot, and the sets are fucking crazy. So it's a good looking movie. The one movie that shares very similar themes with Salo, it's called A Sweet Movie. It's a Polish movie, and I'm trying to see how I can say this without
and no August Underground's on here, Shah, which I think is kind of a mistake.
Yeah, none of that. But A Sweet Movie, man. I mean, if you want to really fuck your life up, man, it's called A Sweet Movie.
Yeah, Don't Look Now. The Sweet Life with Zach and Cody B-Show, that should be on here.
Yes, absolutely. The winner of Miss World Virginity contest escapes. What? The winner of the Miss World Virginity contest escapes from her masochistic husband and ends up involved in a world of debauchery.
So this movie was so disturbing and uncomfortable that the actress quit in the middle of the movie. So they essentially made 2 different movies with 2 different plots, and it's all mixed and mashed together. You don't want to show this, brothers. You don't want to show this.
Jeez. I like this picture though, Shah.
Yeah, but
where is this? Is this streaming anywhere? A Sweet Movie?
Absolutely the fuck not, man. Good luck finding this
Greasy
movie.
Strangler, I think should be on here too. By the way, I think Greasy Strangler should be on this list.
But basically, to put it in a way, if you get the themes of happiness, just imagine if they almost played it out. It's in this movie. They went that far.
Where is this streaming anywhere?
It's a Polish movie. It's highly banned in a lot of.
Okay,
I mean,
so we're not gonna get.
Yeah, you're not gonna. I mean, Criterion put it out. That's the only way I know about it. Criterion put it out on DVD, and it's out of print, long out of print. Like, good luck finding it. Okay. And yeah.
Well, it was an interesting list. Obviously, it's not, you're not going to satisfy everybody. But, Shah, I'm glad you jumped in there for the meat and potatoes of it. Thank you.
Yeah, man.
Okay. Well, we're going to be heading out. B-Show and I have a very special topic we're going to cover on the Patreon there related to Primate and a review. Something very controversial happened this week with somebody reviewing Primate. But please consider going to patreon.com/spitballmedia, $5 a month. Shah's going to be dropping a special show for you in the next few days. And, of course, we will be doing the Q&A at the end of the month. We have a couple of podcasts. We want to plug Hey Now Rich Dow's podcast as the X's and O's. And then we have Cleric of Chaos. Is that Near Death Experience?
The Cheating Death podcast.
Cheating Death. I'm sorry. Near Death Experience, I think, is a hardcore album that I can't remember who made it. And then, of course, we have the Necromaniacs podcast, the Wrestling Soup, the Don Tony Show. I want to give a shout out to my boys across the seas there for Ringsiders. And isn't that new podcast with Chris Castro? What is that called? Is that called the Minorities Report?
I didn't know Chris was on that one, but I thought that was
no. He's not on that one. Yeah, that one's with Dirk.
Right? Dirk. Okay.
Yeah, that's with Dirk and Chris.
Dirk and Chris. Okay, my bad. And of course, whatchamacallit?
Don Tony and Soups. Did we talk about?
I did Don Tony. I did Soup.
Okay.
And then if you guys have any other things you want to plug, let us know. Thank you guys for hanging out with us tonight. And thank you for letting us invade 2026 for you. And we're going to see you guys next week on the regular show.